Good morning all, it is a Friday morning in January and look who we got with us, we've got Christine. We've done a few of these now, haven't we?
We have.
Would this be number 3 or 4 or... And then obviously you did it with Lynn as well, you and Lynn have done a couple as well.
Dragged me into it.
Yeah, sorry about that. But this is something really exciting.
It's really exciting.
Yeah, but as Christine said, it'd be no surprise it's socks.
Yes. The biggest surprise would be if it wasn't socks.
Yeah.
So yes. New socks, just for you.
Exclusive to Black Sheep Wools. These are going to be our first Black Sheep Wools box, which is something we've been working on behind the scenes for quite a while with lots of different friends of Black Sheep. We've got a few different patterns coming up, but Christine's pattern is going to launch them, which is super exciting. And we just showed Christine all the bits that are going to go in the box, and I think you were pleased as well, weren't you?
They're really lovely.
So look at this pattern. These are just gorgeous. So talk us through the Adeline socks.
Yes, the Adeline socks. Well, Wildflower. This colourway is just gorgeous. It's just so pretty, and I wanted to do something for you that made the most of the pretty yarn.
Yes.
And it's very tempting just to knit plain socks, but there's no excitement in producing a pattern.
No.
There's just plain socks because there are so many of those already. So what I wanted to do was try and create something that wasn't too difficult, because I always like to design patterns that anybody can have a go at, but also had something about it, and so this is how this one.
I love this design because it's sort of reminiscent of a heart, but a shield as well.
Yes, that's right. It feels. To me, it felt like a very strong motif, quite very feminine, but still very strong. I was thinking of warrior princesses and all sorts of things. Although I get carried away.
Yeah, no, that's why you design, because your brain works like that.
So yeah, Boudica could wear these socks.
Yes,
maybe, if she wore socks. And it's not difficult, and the motif is repeated a couple of times. So it's only I can't remember how many rows there are in the pattern, but once you've got this section off, then that's easy, and you can choose whether to put it on the bottom. But I like it on the back. I like the way that it goes all the way around, and I like also that we've got contrast to break it up, because this colour goes really well, doesn't it?
It's gorgeous though. So you've done a couple. Do you want to just show you something really interesting actually first? To hold one of those up. So Christine made those.
Yep.
These were made to the same pattern, but look at the difference in size.
Oh yes.
Yeah, which is interesting just in terms of tension being so important on everything.
Yes, look, it's there. So
yeah, but it's quite. I always find it quite fascinating when we see two people doing the same thing, because very rarely they're not the same size.
Well, nobody ever wants to do a gauge swatch, do they? But it is worth doing that.
Yeah, I just think it's worth, even if you just. I tend to do my gauge when I'm actually part way through the garment just to double check it. But I'll do something like a sleeve first and then check it on the sleeve, so it's not bucket loads of a back or something.
That makes sense. I mean, it's to be honest, with a sock, you only need to do a tiny tension square just to check the number of stitches per inch that you've got, because these are worked out on 30 stitches per inch, which is if you divide it all up, it's 7.5 stitches per 30 stitches per inch. That's not right, is it? 30
30 stitches. I was thinking that was going to do very fast. You were knitting in lace, yes. So go on.
30 stitches per 4 inches, which is 7.5 stitches per inch. And so you just use the needle size.
Right, to give you that.
So for me it's 2.5 mils, but for somebody else it might be 2.25, or somebody else it might be 2.75. And if you just play about with it, then your gauge really isn't going to change from sock to sock. So once you've got that, then whatever pattern you're using, as long as you're using 4-ply yarn, it's probably going to be about right. So
good tip. There you go.
But it's lovely to see how everybody else does it. I just really like it. I just like the way that they all work out.
Yeah, it is just a stunning design. And you've done a couple of different techniques on this as well, haven't you?
Well, I have the cast on is the usual way that I encourage beginners to do it, which is not to join straight into the round. I would call this an adventurous beginner's sock, so I would say that it's best if you've done a plain sock first, so you at least get the construction of how the sock works. So
but I'd be okay with my limited sock knitting history, because I want to make these.
Yeah, do
right.
it.
Yeah.
It. I mean, if you've never knitted a sock before and you want to do it, then do it, because if you're inspired by the pattern or by the yarn, then that's what's going to keep you going and keep pulling you through. Whereas, it's like anything. If you don't like what you're knitting, then you've got no incentive to get it finished,
and if you put the odd design feature in yourself, it doesn't really matter, does it? The world doesn't stop turning if you make a mistake in your knitting.
No, that's what makes it yours. That's unique, isn't it? So yes, I always encourage beginners to cast on with straight needles or double pointed needles, work a couple of rows and then join into the round, because you're less likely to twist the stitches then. Because there's nothing worse than getting a few rounds down and realising that you've got this nice Mobius thing going on and you've got to unpick it all. So that's the main thing that I would say. But if you're confident in knitting in the round and you don't want to, then you don't have to.
You use short circulars on yours, don't you, as well?
Yes.
Christine does do the most incredible books on sock knitting, which were my Bible when I've knitted socks, which do talk about all the different ways that you can, from doing magic loop to deep. I've used DPNs.
Yeah.
So there's also, and they're also all on your blog as well, aren't they? All these as reference points.
Yes,
so.
they're all there.
Yeah.
They're all there, so anybody can pick them up at any time. And lots of people feel that they need to knit socks on double pointed needles because they're traditionally that's what they've done. So you might remember your grandma whizzing around. If it's not for you, then it's not for you. Life's too short. And, I've sold a car with a double pointed needle stuck down the dashboard, and that's never coming out again. So that's why I use circulars, because then I can't lose anything. But the short circular, like this one, you need double points as well. Ideally, when you get to the heel and the toes, just because it makes life easy, and some people can do all of it on this needle.
Yes.
But if it gets tight and fiddly and you're not having a nice time, then why do it?
Okay, yeah.
And there's the double point.
That's what I've used previously, but I did learn last weekend magic loop, which I think is what you would say for those.
Yeah. Yes. You can also use this big magic loop needle for doing the toes, so you don't have to.
Okay. Yeah.
Because even using double points for the toes and the heels really puts some people off. So you could use this instead.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine. And with this one, you don't need any more needles, so the whole of the sock can be done on this one needle, because the cable's so long, it holds everything safely. It's great if you're knitting when you're commuting. Or if you're in the car and you think you're going to be losing something down the side of under the seats or whatever. So the other thing that I've done in this sock is because we decided that we were going to use the contrast heel. I like my colours to keep going, to look as if they've never stopped as I'm working them down. So I've written the pattern in such a way that we drop the coloured yarn here and then knit the heel, and then we pick up the coloured yarn and then keep going. So all of this is done in one piece, and lots of people will do this as an afterthought heel, but rather than because I like the heel flap heel for the fit. And also because I think it's an easy one for people who've not necessarily knitted many socks before. But then that means that it keeps the stripes going in order. And, you can cut it and rejoin it if you want to, but if you don't need to, then why do that? And then it's easy enough to change again at the toes. And then you've got your nice contrast, and that makes the yarn last longer. So depending on the size of your feet, you might get 2 pairs if you switch the colours around, because then you've got contrast for both pairs.
Well, that was the first thing that Lucy, who Christy knows runs our website, said. Lucy's great at getting 2 things out of anything, isn't she? I mean, she's just done a colour work hat, and she's now reversing the colours. And that's what I think you'll be able to get 2 pairs. So we can't guarantee anything, but you never know. Even if it's just little ones, then even if you just
it definitely depends on the size of your feet.
Yes.
And the size of the size of the cast on, the length, all of that. So, but if you weigh the yarn and then you weigh your socks, so you know how much you've used. Then you'll be able to take a view then of what's left.
Yeah. Well, actually, you could always just do some small bits. So these are in the box with a pattern, which is exciting, and lots of other bits and pieces which Christine has helped with. She's also had a look at everything today, and she's pleased with it. So we're delighted too. Now there are a limited number of these boxes. just to add to the whole excitement. And I'm really, really excited about this box. I can't tell you. And I think everybody in the office will keep going, look at these, look at this. So yeah, so there's going to be we will be doing an unboxing video to show you exactly what's in it. But the main bit that's in it is you're going to be able to make these gorgeous socks. Yeah. So lovely.
It's lovely. I like the way that you've put it together as a kit with both colours, and you've got and also the choices is a really good idea, because not everybody would want the pink and
I mean, we could have gone on and on with your range and then with the West Yorkshire Spinners range as well, because both of these, must say, are Christine's colours from the West Yorkshire Spinners sock range. So yeah, which I mean, I just love. Seascape, which then I was then looking at sea glass. I spent quite a long time looking at sea glass with this, because that was what inspired it, wasn't it?
Yeah, sea glass, being on holiday, just seaside colours. But there is already a yarn in the West Yorkshire Spinners range called sea glass.
So
then they said, oh, you need to think of something else, and the more I thought about it, I was thinking, oh, it's not just the glass; it's the whole seaside thing.
It's the horizon and everything else as well,
and the memories and being on the beach. So seascape perfectly.
And then we've got that, because there's 4 of your yarns in the range, isn't there?
That's right. Yes. This one's Wildflower, and then there's Hidden Gem and Bright Side, and either of those would also work.
Yeah.
So when you've sold all of the boxes and you still want to have a go at the pattern, then you need to come into the craft bar to buy more yarn.
More yarn. There's always room for more yarn. There is. Oh, that is brilliant. I'm really, really excited about this, so thank you.
You're very welcome. It's been lovely to come and see you again.
Thank you.